Hello everybody, it's Chris. I don't normally start my videos as I'm starting up, but I want you to be here with me if this thing does what it did yesterday morning on startup, and I'll explain whether or not it does it or not, and we'll just get going here. Unplug the trickle charger. You'll notice the trickle charger is showing 2 green lights, which I think is supposed to mean that the battery is in decent shape. It's a brand new battery. It was just installed in May, but I'll explain once we get going here. Okay, so mode, parking button, the moment of truth. Perfect startup. Okay. I will explain once we get going why I wanted you to be here with me. I'm going to go put my jacket on and pick it up in a bit. Okay, so this is going to be a cool video. We're going to check out some cool old lighthouses with a lot of historic value along Lake Erie. But I need to explain to you why I wanted you with me on startup. We're about to cross the South Grand Island Bridge once again to head over the Niagara River on our adventure for today. But before I explain some of this, I've got to explain the sequencing of videos. And I know I've explained this before, and it gets a little kind of inside baseball and confusing, and I'm probably not, going to do a perfect job of explaining this, but I have been from the beginning scheduling videos every Sunday. For as long as I believe I've had this channel, you've seen a video every Sunday. And on occasion, the beautiful Niagara River. On occasion, you've seen more than one video. Like sometimes you'll see 2 a week when I'm shooting a lot of videos. And when I was on my Florida trip, which seems like a lifetime ago, but it was only really just a few months ago, I was actually scheduling 3 videos a week because I was shooting so many videos. Well, I am now determined to just keep it to 1 video a week, Sundays only. But what that means is sometimes I'll be shooting a video and referring to what happened yesterday, and it actually, as far as the video, happened like a week or more ago. So with that background, let me explain what happened to me yesterday, which might be a couple of weeks to you. I go to start up, and I did a whole video on this, but if you didn't see the video, I got, for the first time ever, a loud beep on startup. It's the same beep you get when you turn the Spyder off without shutting the parking brake off. I got one of those beeps. When you shut the Spyder off without turning the parking brake off, you get like, I think 20 of them, or it's like 20 seconds or something like that. But I got one of those beeps. I got the amber engine light flashing. That's never happened before. I got a limp home mode yellow flash, and I got a VSL's fault amber flash on the dash, and 3 VSS fault codes. I don't remember what the fault codes are, but if you watch the video that ran a couple of weeks ago, you can actually see all of this happening. That happened yesterday as in when I'm shooting this video. I ended up starting it up again, and it was a perfect startup, as it was just now on this video. And so I went for my adventure to the Kanzua Bridge State Park, which basically takes me in the 2.5 hours from home in the middle of nowhere. I wouldn't want to get into a jam out there, but I took the risk and it worked out fine. I get home that afternoon, I shut down so I can pull a car out of the garage. When I started up again, it gave me the same thing. So this morning, before startup, I called my dealer when they opened at 9 o'clock, Bucks Motorsports in Akron, New York. I said to myself, if they can take me on a fluke for whatever reason, immediately, they could take me in today, this video that you're watching right now would be about me riding to Bucks Motorsports once again for another Spyder Gremlin. if they couldn't take me, and they couldn't, they said we can only take you in about a week and a half, so I've got an appointment scheduled with them for the second half of September. If that was the case, I was going to start up, and if I got that whole rigmarole, then I'm not sure how I would handle it. But if I didn't, if the startup went up fine, then I was going to shoot a video about the Lake Erie lighthouses, and that's what we're doing today. We're going to start and stop a few times on this trip. I'm hoping I don't have any issues, but you're going to be with me on every startup in case I do. I want you to see what I'm talking about. So we're heading towards downtown Buffalo, as we've done many times on this channel. And our first lighthouse sighting is going to be the Buffalo Main Light. This is the Peace Bridge dead ahead that takes us from Buffalo, New York to Fort Erie, Ontario. This is the mighty Niagara River, where it starts right here, Lake Erie. Now, I've never been to where we're going. We're going to a place called the Erie Basin area, and this will be a new experience for both of us. Well, it's a new experience for me. I don't know, maybe some of you have been here before, because we do have some Western New York people who watch the channel. So this is the Naval and Military Park in Buffalo, and I just wanted to turn the camera on as we pass it because it's so cool. You know, you get the sub conning tower. I think that's a conning tower. You can see the battleship there. I think that might be the Sullivan. So regarding the Buffalo Lighthouse, it's yeah, I think that is the Sullivan. I wish I could get close enough to get confirmation on that. And I forgot the connection between the Sullivan brothers. They weren't from Buffalo. I forgot the connection between the battleship and why it's in Buffalo. But regarding the Buffalo Lighthouse, you can't really get up close to it, just like my understanding by looking at the map. So you have to kind of come across the street, across the channel here from it, to really get close enough to see it. Is this a deal where we have to go ahead? Thank you. I don't know what that's all about, if they charge admission for certain people or... But anyway, that's the Buffalo Main Lighthouse right there. And this is the best way to see it up close. So that's downtown Buffalo, to put it into perspective. So the Buffalo Lighthouse was built in like 1814, I think 1833 if I recall from my little research. And it was decommissioned like 110 years ago. I think it was 1915. And I'm not sure why it was decommissioned, but again, this isn't like a history channel. This is more of a... Is that guy behind me? No. But isn't that beautiful? Now, we're going to go see a couple of other lighthouses, and we're going to get a whole lot closer to those lighthouses. We're going to get right up close. In fact, I think I might get off the Spyder, depending on the lay of the land. That roadway you can see there is the Buffalo Skyway. There's been debate about, you can see the cars going over it, about taking it down or not, which would open up some developable land underneath where it traverses now. But this gives us a much better view of the battleship there. You know what? Now I'm beginning to question myself. Is that a battleship or a cruiser or something else? But those of you who are Navy vets, fill in the pieces in the comments. So it turns out I saw on the side of that battleship USS Little Rock. So everything I said may be wrong, but I believe the USS Sullivan named after the 5 Sullivan brothers from World War II. I believe that either was in or is in Buffalo, right there, I mean at that naval park. But that ship clearly, the one that I kind of gave you the good view of, clearly is the USS Little Rock. So again, if you're a Navy vet or history buff or a Buffalo guy, please fill in the comments. And now we're off to Dunkirk. Speaking of World War II, only not Dunkirk of World War II fame. We're heading to Dunkirk of Western New York fame. This is sad. This is the Buffalo News building that holds the Buffalo News no more. As with so many other newspapers across the country, and I was part of this, what seems like a lifetime ago, they're getting out of their old legacy buildings and moving into smaller leased office spaces. It's kind of sad. Okay, we are in Dunkirk, New York. I just needed to gas up. This is kind of interesting. I don't think I've ever seen 90 being the highest option. The Spyder, you know, they say put 91 in. This is not going to make a big deal. I just thought it was interesting that that was the highest octane available. But the real reason why I started the camera up right now is I want you to be with me every time I start this puppy up, just in case we have an issue. Okay. Perfect start. Okay, let's go see the Dunkirk light. I don't know if you can see up ahead, there's kind of a welcome to Dunkirk sign on that railroad trestle, and the train's going by. I think that's pretty cool. I was hoping we'd get to go underneath the trestle, and we may, while the train's going over it. I wouldn't leave the camera on in this situation normally, but just because I love trains and I think it's cool. We're gonna get to go underneath it after all. Oh my gosh, 2 of them. I don't know if you saw that. There were 2 crossing, passing each other. It's pretty awesome. Before we go to the lighthouse, we're gonna go check out the Dunkirk Pier. I've been here before, but I can't remember if I've been here on the Spyder. So this is Lake Erie. Oh look, there's a guy sitting up on the jetty there. That's pretty cool. Neat little place to sit, to go for a walk. And Dunkirk Light is that way. Isn't it pretty cool though? Alright, let's go find the lighthouse. So the Dunkirk Lighthouse is an active lighthouse. I just did a little reading on it before we headed out. It was built in like the early 1800s. It's just phenomenal that these lighthouses were all built like before the Civil War. But this one is actually still active, and I believe there's like a museum you can go in. We're not going to do that. I don't like to get you off the... Oh, this is beautiful view of Lake Erie. My gosh, I wouldn't mind living in this house and having that view and being able to sit on that bench whenever I wanted to. That's incredible. Why is there a stop sign here? Okay, now see this little milk jug here, this little white thing, that is a lighthouse that was in Buffalo. I think it's called the South Buffalo Light, and then when they deactivated it, they moved it here for some reason. I don't know why they wouldn't have just left it where it was, but I'm sure they had a reason. Okay, now where is this lighthouse? I know it's here. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. So we're gonna, yeah, there it is right there. Through the trees. Can you see it? I'm gonna get up closer with the iPhone. I don't like to do that often, but I'm gonna shut it down, get up close to it with the iPhone, and then we'll hit it back up soon. This is really cool. Bottle structure buoy, Buffalo South entrance, built in 1903. Wow, I love it. In fact, they call it the milk bottle buoy. That's funny. I'm going to shut down. We'll pick it up with the iPhone. Just amazing. We're going to head out, but I'm so glad we stopped here. I'll have to do my homework to see if it was is an active lighthouse or not, and I'll put it in the. No, I'll just put it. I'll scroll it across the screen here. Okay, I know I probably seem paranoid, but I just want you with me when I start up. Okay, so so we got a hesitation and a VSS fault. My guess is the VSS fault is because of the hesitation, or vice versa. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to go to settings here. We're going to go down to fault codes. C1290, yet another new one. C1290. I'll have to tell my dealer about that when I see him in about a week and a half. I'm glad you were with me when that happened, but that doesn't trouble me, to be honest with you. I'll Google that when I get home. What would have troubled me is if I got the limp mode and the flashing amber engine light and the 3 different VSS faults. We've got one more stop, folks, on our way, on our journey to look at lighthouses. And I should probably explain that, because this is not a full Lake Erie lighthouse tour. That would take days. But we are now headed to Barcelona, and not Barcelona, Spain. We're headed to Barcelona, New York, which is just a half an hour, not even 22 minutes. Lake Erie, 22 minutes southwest of here, and there's a lighthouse there that is apparently either the first, or its historic significance is it was, I think, the first natural gas powered lighthouse. Now, I don't know if that was the United States, the world, New York State, but I think it may be in the world. And we'll be there in 22 minutes, and we'll pick it up then. So as we approach the Barcelona Lighthouse, what is called, this is Route 5, and they call it the Great Lakes Seaway Trail. I wanted to explain, I started to when we were leaving the Dunkirk Lighthouse, but I wanted to explain this video and the video I'll do on the Lake Ontario lighthouses. This is not a video about all of the Lake Erie lighthouses, nor will the next video be about all the Lake Ontario lighthouses. This is just the lighthouses between Niagara Falls, New York, and this is the last one, let's say the Pennsylvania state line. In this case, it's the Barcelona Lighthouse. I don't know what this is all about. Here we go. I'm not sure what this crop is. I don't know if those are, if that's a vineyard, if those are like vines for wine, for a winery, or if it's something else. But this video is just about the Erie County lighthouses between Niagara Falls and the Pennsylvania state line. There are lots of lighthouses in Pennsylvania, in Ohio, in the Detroit, in Michigan, and then of course Southern Ontario. Those states and provinces hug Lake Ontario, I'm sorry, Lake Erie, and I'm sure there are an abundance of lighthouses all around the lake. And same with Lake Ontario. I'm going to just go from Fort Niagara to the Rochester area. There's a few lighthouses there. I could go around the rest of the state of New York and southern Ontario, and I think even a portion of Quebec. Those of you who are Canadians would know better. Does Lake Ontario also touch Quebec, or is it just southern Ontario? But my point is, I'm not gonna go. That would take me days to shoot that video. It would make for a great video, but that's not what this video is about. Okay, we're getting super close to the Barcelona Lighthouse. Barcelona must be a village within the town of Westfield. Oh, there's Lake Erie. Beautiful. Because I believe we're in the town of Westfield. Oh, I think I see it. It's right on the road here. This is interesting. Here it is. I'm gonna just do what I should not do, but I'm gonna pull over. Oh, that is cute. That is something. And I like that house. You know, some lighthouse operators have it better than others, and that guy had it nice. I say had because it's no longer an active lighthouse. Oh, I guess you can go up it? Oh my gosh, am I not going to go up that lighthouse? I have to do that. We're going up it. Where do you park for this place? Up here, maybe? Yeah, we have to. And of course, I'll bring you with me on the iPhone, and then you'll be with me when I start up, because especially since what happened at the last stop with the new fault code. Okay, I'll pick it up on the iPhone. So believe it or not, you need a ticket to get to the top of this, and you don't pay for the ticket. The ticket is merely, they give you a little liability disclosure form to fill out. I'm gonna give the lady my thing, and then we'll climb to the top. Here's mine.
It's partly about safety is what it really is. They don't want anybody to get hurt, and we're just letting you recognize what we know could be an issue for you.
That's a good explanation. You didn't hear that. It's more about safety than liability.
So I want to tell you a little bit about here before you go up.
Okay.
So this is the facts about the lighthouse. This pole was original to the building back in 1829. That's the window. It gets a little darker.
Okay.
So just go slow and easy, and Jim is the guide up at the top.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, I'll let him know you're coming. Jim, we got one coming.
This is awesome. And she wasn't kidding. It is dark. I should not be. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to film once we get to the top. Oh my gosh. Talk about a panoramic view. And I'm going to just... that shows you what we just walked up. This is incredible.
Make sure you grab your flashlight.
Oh, okay, I will. So this is the odd staircase I was kind of explaining to you. It's a real tight fit, and so they're obviously concerned about people getting through there. So I can see why they have to give you a lesson on how to walk that staircase. That was awesome. I want you once again to be with me on startup. Let's see how this goes. Mode button, parking brake. Perfect startup, no VSS faults, nothing. Now, there's an important component to all of my adventures. That is so awesome. Just perfect. Just awesome. Okay, so there's a cute little diner. My GPS is going nuts. I think I want to go this way, and this can't figure out which way to tell me to go because it's on an incline. But I believe I want to go down this way to get to downtown Westfield because I want you to see this cute little diner. Oh, this looks like it's a cute little town. Oh, yeah. Looks like a cool little park there. I don't know what that plaque says, but this must be a real historic building. Oh, wow. What a pretty little town. And here's the diner we're going to. Because I want to park in the shade. 2-hour parking right here, but if you like this video, please hit that like button. If you have any comments on anything we've seen, please hit comment. If you're not a subscriber to the channel yet, if you would subscribe, I sure would appreciate it. And until the next video, you have a great day. Bye-bye.